Okay, so here is a door that I built. I took it off my island to show you guys kind of the process. These are just 1x3s, they're poplar, and then just 1/4 inch pine. But this 1x2 as an example, I always route a slot or a groove in them, right? So it's like this, and then this ply would slide into that groove. And then because, because I always detail these, right? I give them like a step down and a bevel, which I also just do with my router. You do them when they're disconnected. So like you would do this to this whole piece. Actually, what I did is this was like a whole 6-foot piece. And then I just did it all in one, if that makes sense. Like I ran this 6-foot piece through the router to get this, and then I ran it through again to get this, and then I ran it through again to get this. And once I've done that to the entire board, then I just cut it at 45 degrees and mitered it together. Another way you could do it is shakers. Shakers just go horizontally across and they butt into each other. If you do shakers, it's a lot harder to get a detailed corner, so I'm not quite sure what you guys are wanting to do. But if you miter them, I have these, you guys are more than welcome to borrow. They're called spring hinge clamps. And the way they work is you get this little tool and you squeeze and it pulls them apart. And then these little needly guys go into the corners and then you let it go. And when you do, it like sinks into the wood. And it pulls it together really nicely. And what I also like about them is how slim they are. So that helps with the glue up, which I'll show you in a minute. But those are called spring hinge. And I got a whole set of those. The only downfall is they do leave little holes, but you can just fill them. Glue up. Glue up's the hardest part because you want it flat. Like you can see this guy. If I push here, this upper corner, he kind of wobbles. So I'm not perfectly flat, but close enough. You can see where I sanded a bunch here. What I do for gluing up drawers, there's multiple ways to do it. What I found that's worked best for me is I take 2x and then I take a cheap piece of something. You can do this to the 2x2, but whatever you use, wrap it in saran wrap. You could just wrap your 2x in saran wrap, that would also work. And then I like put my corner on, and then I've got another sheet of the same situation that I put down, or you could just wrap your 2x, and you do that all the way around, and you take those spring hinge and you clamp it and it pulls all 4 of your corners together, and then you do this on every single corner and it will help keep it flat. The other thing that you can do that I have seen people do, I just never had a piece big enough, but like now I do with this sheet of ply, you can cut a thicker like 1/2 inch sheet of ply to your size, right? If this is like 1 foot by 2 foot, you would cut yours 1x2, maybe slightly bigger. Wrap that whole thing in saran wrap, and then cut a second piece, and then like put one piece down, put your board down, put the second piece on top, and then clamp all the way around it. That's probably a more effective way. And again, because these hinge clamps are so thin, they can easily rest in between. So you'd have like this board wrapped in saran wrap, your door, and then another board just like it wrapped in saran wrap. And then you would just, again, clamp all the way around and it would keep it nice and flat. That's the hardest part of drawers. The hardest part of drawers is keeping them flat when you glue them up. But you can always sand them down. When it comes time to hanging your drawers, I have this Craig jig, and essentially it will drill your pocket holes with this Forstner bit, and then it's got 2 other holes to do these. That's it. That's the whole process. That's what I do. I hope it helps. Let me know if you have questions. It's really not that bad. It's really not. Like I said, I do all my detail work when it's one whole piece, and then I just cut it and join it. Let me know if you have questions.